Hello, welcome back to Primo Calcio Week 37 review of this Serie A. I am Michael, as usual, with Anthony. How are you doing?
Wow, what a great week. I'm still really excited about it.
Yeah, you sound really
Can you believe?
excited.
Yeah, I
No, that
it's
wasn't believable at all, but
you know,
I thought it was a great week. Last week sucked for me.
did you? That
Most
was
most
exciting.
results that I wanted to happen last week did not happen. This week, I'd say most of them did.
No results happened. No results happened.
That's all I need, though. I just need Napoli to skate along to victory. Okay, I don't. If they tie, that's not good, but
Well,
so
they
did
can't
Inter.
skate next week, dude. I mean, there's no way Inter's gonna stink it up again. No way.
Como might tie him. Como's good at home. You don't know that.
Como is good at home.
So
Como's not playing for anything, and
it
you know,
doesn't matter, man. Some of these teams weren't. Genoa wasn't playing against anything. I mean, there's just teams that you never know. But it's the end of the season. Serie A's wild.
if you're looking at the thumbnail, there's only one guy in that thumbnail that gets the job done every time.
Let's let the audience choose.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one guy that when he steps onto the field,
He doesn't
the
fail.
crowd goes wild. He never fails. What's his job?
What's his
Does it
job?
every
Who is
single
this
time.
magician?
He delivers every time.
Who is this thing of beauty? This wonderful
Yeah,
individual.
that's
I
right.
don't know. You choose. All right. Let's get into it. We will start with Atalanta. Okay, Atalanta versus Genoa. Bit of a back and forth game. Atalanta did pull it off in the end. Um, I will say the big thing about this game, not that any team was playing for anything, but that Daniel Maldini played very, very well, and he got his first goal for the club, and he should have scored again. He
Hey,
had a very, very easy one to bury and didn't. Maybe that's going to give him the confidence. I
oh,
thought he played an excellent game though, and that speaks well for the future.
it does.
Atalanta
We
also
need more of that.
ran youngsters like Palestra. Nice. They got a kid called Suleimana who's played the past few games now. They ran a couple of other their backups.
Is he a
So
kid?
Suleimana,
Yeah, I don't think he's a kid.
21.
Is he really?
Yeah, Suleiman's 21, Palestra's 20, so they played some of their youth guys as they're known to do. I mean, but most of our teams kids. I mean, Daniel Maldini's only like 23. Like
Yeah.
they have a relatively young. Even Summers are just what like 24.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're young.
Jeffrey Epstein would love that team.
They love it. Oh, it's Kosunu, 24. So they played some youngsters. But I mean, they did well. It was a close game. Pinamonti got two
That's good.
goals. Not much to play for. The biggest thing I want to talk was that Maldini got off the mark, so that was good to see since he's been in the national team picture. Not that I think he should be at this stage. I think he's one should be on
Yeah.
the outside looking in, but at least
Yeah, I mean, let's clear out some of these ancillary games. I mean, we know where the meat and potatoes is going to be. There's a lot to say about it. So,
all right. Let's move next. Juve Udinese.
I mean, Udinese's been checked out for a couple weeks now, and this weekend was no different. I mean, it took a little while for Juve to get the wheels going. They were dominating the game, but just couldn't bury it, and then they finally did. I mean, it was only a matter of time. So,
Yep.
good job.
Nico Gonzalez,
Dusan,
Vlahovic.
yeah, Dusan gave the fans a little salute there with the goal.
Do you think
You know,
they played well or not really?
no, I don't think they played well. I just think Udinese didn't play at all. Um,
Udinese didn't once again didn't have their main guys though. That's kind of all that team is.
right.
They're just a team of robots from what I think, and then they have like two standout players. That's going to be Luca and that's going to be Tovan. And Tovan's been injured for the last several
I
games,
mean,
which is when they
the
start
main
to
one's
struggle.
Tovan. Yeah,
Definitely.
the main one's Tovan. Yeah, I mean, even I don't think their best midfielders were on the field. It's fine.
Yeah,
You know,
from what I
I'll take.
saw, I didn't see a lot of the game because it was all like multicasted, so I did catch highlights and after stuff. But Juve did not look good to me.
Well, and
Yildiz
that
had a nice
defender they
play.
have. Who's that B-hole guy from their defender? He's pretty good. He wasn't there.
What are you talking about?
B-hole. They got a
Yo.
defender. That's his name. Yeah, scroll down. Scroll down. Is he on the bench? Yeah, Bijol. B-hole. Yeah, that's how you say it, right?
That's
It's a soft J.
fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well done.
Yeah,
You get a prize for
yeah.
that.
Thank you.
No, I thought Sal played well. Um, Yildiz played well. Also, I thought
Yeah.
he I think had both assists. So good for Yildiz there. Um,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, Yildiz was getting some shit for some, dumb thing that happened a couple games ago,
he
and
just gotta kind of
just a little,
keep
just
it
a
his 10. But
retaliation. I mean, shit, man.
He'll learn.
Frustration happens, dude. Yeah, he'll learn. It was fine.
He's young.
Yep.
The Yep. No, so, I mean, honestly, there wasn't much in that game. Juve, the
No,
meat and
there wasn't.
potatoes of Juve is going to be after season, so we'll kind of do a really deep dive into Juve once season ends.
Oh yeah.
We'll do a full-on rebuild. That's going to be where the meat and potatoes lie. This game didn't really matter. Their next game, we'll talk about at the end of this cast during our preview.
Yeah.
Anything else to say about Juve this game, or
No,
not
I
really?
think that was it. Conceição was good. Yildiz was good. But I mean, honestly, Udinese didn't even have some of their best guys in, and they've been checked out for weeks now. So
Yep. Yeah,
it's a
they're
good
easier to
team for
play
Juve to
than
play
the
right
worst team.
now.
They're easier to play
Yeah,
than the teams at the bottom because they're fighting hard, whereas Udinese has no.
exactly.
All right, let's move along. So where are we at next? We have Monza Empoli. There's only a little bit to say here is that Empoli won again. And because Empoli's won, they've now put themselves into a position to actually fight to get out of relegation. If they win their next game, they're out of it. We'll once again talk about this a little more in depth during our preview. But very unique that it's cool that they won because they actually now control their own fate.
Well, I think they're a lot more steady too. This is their best defense, and it's a shame they didn't find Marianucci until they had to. They were forced to. But Ismaili, Vidi, and Marianucci are a good back line.
Yep.
I like that back line a lot.
Much different now
And
that they're all back.
yeah, it's a totally different team. It's a totally different team now. They got so at the beginning of the season they were defensively strong. They completely fell to pieces when with their injuries. It was mainly because Ismaili went out for a long time, and they just went to shit. And then boom, now the guys are Marianucci stepped in once they found
Yeah,
him
we know
to
this was the
utilize.
best back three.
Well,
Called that for a long
yeah,
time.
that's the best pick. And Colombo got a goal.
Yep.
That's good.
And remember they stopped playing the guy, and he's always been good for them.
Yeah,
I don't know what was going on there, but
dude.
they've gotten back to what they needed to be doing. Of course, Ismaili they couldn't control; he was injured, but the rest of the team looks good now. Their backline's sorted. They're actually playing their good attackers now. So yeah, they're gonna do well.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad coaches, and yeah, that's no exception down over in Empoli. Yeah.
I agree. All right. Conversely, Venezia is another team in that drop zone who did not win their game, which was crucial because if they
Oof.
did, they would control their own
Oof.
fate. So we'll as I discuss that later. Let's move into the next big game. That was Milan versus Roma.
Oh
So
man! And after that beautiful cast you did, that impromptu midweeker,
yeah, it was perfectly timed because Milan is an
man.
absolute and utter
Oh
failure, and I'm
yeah,
here for it right now. I'm glad to see the destruction. The more destruction, the more chance that we have that RedTurd and Elliot, they're both cancers to the club, gotta go.
as you said last week, Conceição will not dance. He will not put a cigar in his mouth.
Leanne
So
Womack is not playing on his sound list right now. Okay, sitting there. Okay,
he's all
yeah, he's all
yeah.
alone. He
He's
doesn't know
over
what to play on
fantasy.
his Spotify anymore.
Yeah,
So the
he's
game
finished.
starts out. See, with a Mancini goal, it was a very easy goal over to Mori, who we know cannot mark aerially. That's a long time. You got two guys who can mark aerially on there, Gabia and Pavlovic. Mori cannot do it. None of the other defenders can do it. Very easy. Mancini's been playing better. That's something we've said for past, I don't know, several weeks now. He's been good the second
Yes,
half of the season. So
he is. He looks really good. I
yeah,
must say.
he's looked a lot better, and
Yeah,
I mean, Ranieri's definitely brought the best out of him. It took him even a
yeah.
little while to get him going, but he's been quite good recently. He has not looked as error prone and as many stupid mistakes as he's used to.
I like him in the middle of that back three. I
Yeah,
do.
it's working out well. He can be physical and combative. I think that of that defense, Celik is the weak link. Mancini and Ndika have been very good most of the season. They need to replace Celik with somebody actually good, and they'll be much more stable.
Can you describe to me, in your opinion, what the red card was?
Red card, in my opinion, was absolute BS. I know people are gonna say that it was an elbow. It is what it is, but this is different than Kalulu's. Kalulu kind of clotheslined the guy in the face, very
Hey,
dumb.
clothesline him. Yeah.
Like I mean, discuss from the back of the head or sucker punch, whatever you want to call it. That is not allowed. I don't care if it hurt. It probably didn't. This one is just like jostling. Like he tosses the most soft elbow I've
Yeah.
seen to the chest. Mancini didn't even feel it because you can tell a second after he's like, all right, whatever. Oh wait a minute, I should go down. And boom, the light bulb clicked in his head. He rolls around like a baby. And then Jimenez sees him go down. He's like, well, I got to do something. And he lays down on the ground, rolls around like a baby. In my opinion, it'll never happen. I'd like both of them red carded for that fake acting crap. They should both get red carded and tossed out for that
I don't think
shame of being a
Jimenez should have
man.
been red carded at all.
I
I mean,
agree.
he barely even touched him.
No, for
And
acting, for lying and play
oh,
acting on the ground. It should
well,
have been nothing, no call at all.
well,
But
Mancini should have been. Yeah. He was the one who did. He was the one he hit, right?
yeah,
Mancini.
yeah. And I cried like a little baby. It
Yeah.
was it was it wasn't even like a real elbow. It was like literally just like jostling. Like he tossed like a. I think the elbow maybe traveled like 4 inches. You're not
That's
doing
what she was saying.
damage there.
Yeah, no, it's dude, that was ridiculous. I mean, this is already a bitch sport. We don't need to quadruple down on it every single weekend.
Yeah, it's wild.
Let the boys play. Let them play.
And the ref looked at it under VAR and still gave it. He's like, dude,
Of
come
course,
on.
dude. We talked about VAR weeks and weeks and weeks ago, and I always bring up how it affected the NFL. All it is it's a reason for the league to be able to rig games easier. There is no it doesn't make it better. It doesn't clear up calls. It just muddies things up and they get to pick and choose the winner and it's not in the ref's hands. So the ref doesn't get murdered. Some random faceless man gets to get murdered. The rigging's always going to be there. It's whatever outcome they want is the
When they get
outcome
to
they're going to
hide
get.
behind these like rules, because
Yeah.
I think all the refs do when they look at the VAR is they say, all right, what rule can I latch onto so I don't get lambasted? I think that's all they're trying to do is how do I take the less like PR damage, and that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to judge it how you see it and have
They get the
common
call in their
sense.
ear, little earpiece.
And they never have common sense.
Yeah, that's nah, that was BS. That kind of botched the game.
Total BS. They get a red card early. Even with that, Milan scores a relatively sloppy goal, but great work from Jimenez, who really was the one who started it. Felix was in the right place, right time, but Jimenez had two great opportunities throughout that game. Thought he actually was one of the decent players in an otherwise terrible Milan.
And then he got the other Jimenez.
No. Yeah. Alex Jimenez. He did well. He started that whole section, and before that, he missed the post, but like
Yeah.
he did well. After that, Milan really didn't have much. I thought Pulisic was one of the decent players. The rest were very invisible. Even Reinders hasn't been well recently. Mine maybe on a move away from the.
Yeah, well, they're
So
selling him already.
yeah, it's crazy. As I thought it was so funny. And so many people are like thinking that this team is actually gonna keep their stars. Absolutely not. Especially after a
No
bad
way,
season.
dude.
You're an asset. You're not a player. You're an asset. That's what you're on Milan. You're an asset. You belong to a hedge fund. That's it. You're a
You're gonna make so much money though, dude. You're gonna get
yeah.
your bag.
Yeah, they're
Come
gonna
on, let's get that
they're gonna
ownership
sell him for
mentality.
70 mil,
Yeah.
minus like the 20 they paid for him, so they're gonna make 50 mil, and then they're gonna buy two shitty 25 mil players for him, and you're not gonna get one Reinders. Same thing with Tonali.
Well, this is what fans like. This is what Juve fans were proclaiming. Giuntoli's excellence in this. Oh man, oh look at that bag he just got on Heisen. Look at that bag he just
Amazing.
got. Oh
And the fans
man,
get how much of that money?
bag girl.
Nothing.
Nah, dude. Nah. It's just gonna unrecognizable team.
Just imagine you keep Tonali, you keep Kessier, right? And then you add Reinders as your third midfielder who can go forward. Well, now you've got defensive midfielders who can play behind Reinders, and now you have a real top class midfield. Great.
Yeah, but
Just keep your guys.
you got a fat bag.
And you got two fat bags
Denali.
now.
Ooh.
Denali is gone. Reinders is gone. You got left ass cheek. You got
That's all I
Fofana.
care.
You got some really great players in there.
I just like to look at that money.
This
That's what
is
it's all about.
worse than banter era because there's not even an
Yeah.
Italian core anymore. At least banter era, which was a total joke, you at least had some Italian guys in there. Now you have a shit team with not even any core. It's a joke.
Yeah. It's disappointing for me. It's just Milan should be an excellent team, and it's our two teams stinking up the joint are are the
Big
big
reason for the
reason our
national team.
national team
Yeah,
sucks ass. Yeah. So
of course. Yeah, I mean you're putting
how it
the
goes.
national team pressure on Inter. That's never really should be a thing.
Yeah.
Should be Juve
That
and
makes
then Milan in that order.
Yeah, we have a club representing the national team that never has before, and we got like Mr. Clean coaching us, and we think we're gonna be successful. It's a shame.
After that, Paredes had a quite a good free kick. It was very long range. I don't think Magnan should have let it in regardless, but it was very clean. Hit the goalpost, went in. Great shot. And then Cristante gets a late goal just to kind of rub it in the face of Milan, which I thought was a beautiful thing. So
Good.
3-1 Roma. Roma, a very important win. They blew it last week, which was a huge game for them because they win that
Yeah.
game last week. Roma is in fourth place, and Juventus has to catch them now. Juve has to mess up for Roma to get in. So Roma must win their last game. I think that they probably will, but
Yeah.
now they need Juve to mess up, and I don't know if Juve will. So that last week was everything. This week was everything for Milan. Milan's nail is finally in the coffin. They have no more outside shot at Europe at all. Done.
They're out completely. They can't even get into the stinker one.
No,
What's
no,
that?
they can't
Conference one.
because they would get into seventh place, and seventh place I believe gets you
Oh.
nothing. Because
I hope the fans are happy.
now, question I think, and maybe some of the guys watching can answer. Bologna is now out of those spots, but they automatically qualify for Europa League. If they did move up into those European spots, I think one extra team gets a spot. So that may change
That's what
things.
happened last year.
Yeah, so I think that changes things, but I don't know
Would
if
enable
Bologna will get there.
Fiorentina possibly.
Right, and
No, I
that's
think they're probably checking out now.
yeah. We'll see.
They're probably checking out.
But yeah, that was I think after the Copa win, I think Bologna can chill. All right, Milan is done, but the big news for them is that Conceição. I guess we'll talk a little more on that. So Conceição is probably not going to be there. He actually got red card, I think, in this game, so he won't be there for the last game either. I would just play all the kids. You got nothing to play for. Just put them all out there. See what happens. I mean, it can't be what you could lose 3-1 to Roma. You could lose 5-0. I don't care. Who cares? Just put all the kids out there. You're playing Monza. I mean, at home. Just go put all the kids out there.
Are you
Play
sure you want that to
Bartasage.
happen?
Yeah,
What if one of them plays well?
they're getting
They're
sold.
guaranteed sold. Yeah.
No, no, because it would just show the management what they lost. So no, I think Camarda
I
should
think
play.
they
I think
care.
Libarale should play. Bartasage should play. Let's just play the kids.
Weren't we looking up the financials? Was it like a month ago? And they're the most profitable team in Italy.
They were, yeah, yeah, a little
Yeah.
while ago.
Well, I mean,
This is going to hit them hard though. They said they're going to lose out about 100 million of
yeah,
funds from this, and their player values have tanked. Like Teo Hernandez, because of this bad season,
yeah.
Magnan, Hernandez, and Leao are now collectively worth a lot less. Like Leao's probably going to fetch 70 rather than 100 plus. Teo maybe 50 rather than like 70 to 90. Magnan might fetch 30 rather than like 60. So they're probably lost about 100 million in player value too. I
Meanwhile, Inter has the second, made the second most profit, right? And they
think so.
are incredibly frugal on the transfer market, and they have the highest wages.
I think that's the reason why is
Hmm.
because they sell quite well and they buy very cheap. It's just very basic for them. It's ins and outs,
Well, having a good team is a good thing. Yeah,
and they
usually.
qualify for top
Yeah.
tournaments. They're in the finals of the Champions League, so yeah, they're gonna get cash for that for sure.
Yeah, and they don't go absolutely crazy buying big money signings on the market and just bringing in a bunch of random horrors. They also, they do things with. They have a great scouting department. They have a plan.
Great SD
They
or
have a
DS.
budget. They understand what they're doing. Yeah, it's just they have a plan.
Yep. I'm interested to see what they do in the offseason here. That'll be another interesting one to kind of go. So I'm excited for our offseason cast. There's a lot of movement there. But speaking of Inter, let's transition to them next, as that is next on the docket. Inter versus Lazio.
I didn't watch this game because I was watching two other games.
I
So
saw a
you
good
gotta
chunk
fill
of
me
this
in on
game.
this one.
I saw
Nice
a
chunk.
good chunk of this one. So, but yeah, there was like this multicast stuff, and that's fine. But I'm not a fan unless I have like
I
17
hate it.
monitors set up because I couldn't really watch the games in full like I wanted to.
No, it's terrible. I want to be able to see the damn games.
Yeah,
Like, oh, why do we have to start them all at the same time?
like I get it because they don't want some team to know like, oh, I don't have to do anything because this team did
Fucking
this.
bad.
But
It's totally random. They set the schedule at the beginning of the season. Sorry.
I'm not a
Play the damn
fan. But
games.
this is how this week's going to be, and this is I think how most games of next week are going to be too. So, but at least there are
Yeah.
some Friday, Saturday, Sunday games. At least there's that. So.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, Inter Lazio. Inter was leading both times. They were leading 1-0, then they were leading 2-0, or sorry, 2-1. And then Lazio caught up both times, I believe. And it was a double Pedro goal. So Bisek was responsible for one goal and one penalty. Dumfries again came through with the nice header goal after cross. And then Pedro shows up twice. First goal was he just kind of right place, right time after a little bit of a kind of botched play. And second one was a penalty for a handball which was a proper handball. Just gotta say, gotta give some props to Pedro. Doesn't matter his age, doesn't matter if he's like a little bit out of shape. He's a gamer, and we say it all the time on this channel. We respect this dude because he just plays, and he shows up when it matters, which you can't say that for a lot of other Lazio players.
It's especially in today's day and age when everyone's so soft and has no character, but they're so fast and skilled. A guy like Pedro at his age can still outplay everybody because he's got that old school, he's just a fucking gamer, baby. He just shows up to play and does the fucking job. He understands what's at stake and fucking takes the bull by the cojones.
He just plays. No, he just plays. He's one of those guys who just shows up when you need him. Something I'll say is that on the goal, at least the first one there, I know it's Bisek, but I just remember Romagnoli and Tavares, two people could have marked him. And you just
Oh, yeah.
it's just not great marking from both of them. Have not been a fan of their back line for most of the season. I'm not sure what's working there. I think Tavares is gonna be a great wing back. Obviously, he's not a good side back. Matosic is okay. They've got some decent pieces, but there's something about the coaching that they're not getting out of it this year. Because last year, Romagnoli and Casali made a very formidable duo.
Yeah.
And I don't think Gila is a bad player. I don't think that. I mean, who's the other guy that they play a lot? Gigo?
The French guy,
Gigo?
Gigo,
I
yeah.
don't think he's okay, but I mean, there's something about the coaching that's just makes this team so unsolid or unstable, rather. And I do think it would change with that midfield we're talking about.
Yeah,
And
the
add
midfield.
Bellingham.
I mean, the midfield makes the biggest difference. I know you say it all the time with Milan. You know, it's the same defenders or similar defenders that you had in your Scudetto season, but you had way better midfielders in front of them.
Yeah,
So midfielders can act as a diaper for really bad defenders. And right now, Lazio, it's like I
they're
think
pointing
they're
case
just
for it.
so aggressive and so disorganized that man, when at some point in the game it breaks down, it's so easy to break down. And Romagnoli is too fucking slow. And he's just I think he's having a bad year overall. He hasn't been as good as he has been in years past. I like Romagnoli, but
Yeah,
it
he's
hasn't
usually
been
like a steady Eddie. Like he's not gonna be
yeah.
remarkable, but he's stable, he's steady. I mean, and I haven't seen that from him at all. He hasn't been leading the back line well. And I'm not sure. Maybe this in general, the coaching seems to be off, so he's not doing as well. But something's off there. They just seem like such a sloppy, inconsistent team this year.
I don't like either player next to him though. Like I Gila next to him is like he's so undisciplined and all over the place. And I think he's a really good player, but he's very modern
I don't think it works
and
with Romagnoli.
he leaves Romagnoli alone all the time, and Romagnoli's just too fucking
Yeah,
slow, and
you
then
can't isolate
Joao
him.
is just. I mean, I don't know who's slower. So then you got two slow guys back there. Yeah, it's. I don't like their combos.
Maybe a
They
back
got to
three is
rethink
worth
that
it. I don't
midfield.
know. I'm not sure, but I mean, they're not gonna change
I
it
think that's just the
now.
way to go in general, dude. I mean,
Yeah, no, the defenders are so bad. You almost need an extra one these days. But
yeah,
they're not gonna change it now. There's only one game left, but we'll see if what Lazio kind of reshuffles. I think they have some really good pieces going forward, but I just don't know what
yeah,
they're
I
gonna
like their
do.
team a lot.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
just add a couple, keep what you got, add a couple, and then Lazio could actually be play a role and try to get top four next season.
yeah.
And that's kind of
They
their
just
level.
need they need to build. So like, if you look at Bologna and you look at Lazio, and I know Lazio's ahead of Bologna in the table, but Bologna just seems to be a little bit more organized in terms of how their
Way
squad's
more
built. They have a
organized,
lot of
just less talent overall.
yeah, their players fit a tactical system, and it seems like they can just shuffle right through them and not miss a beat. Um, I feel like Lazio's got a couple misfit pieces that I'm sure they'll sort out. You know, this was the first season with a new coach too, and blah blah blah. They're switching up from what's his face, what was it, Sadi? So I think that yeah, they're a couple pieces away, but they also need to get organized with who their subs are going to be next season because yeah, I don't like who they have in their rotation. I don't think a lot of their pieces fit together.
Yeah. I mean, Inter basically played their full lineup, exactly what you can expect from them. So it's because it's basically either a choice between Bisek and Darmian. So otherwise they had their exact starting lineup you'd expect besides
Yeah,
Lautaro, which they shouldn't
yeah,
need that to kind of close this game out. But we'll see what they do next week. The nice thing is that they can play full out because Champions League isn't until after the league finishes. So I think they're going to clean up business, but I thought they would this time too. Actually, I don't know. Did I call a tie here? I thought I did. Yeah, I think Lazio was gonna sneak it out. I'm glad it happened because Napoli needed every bit of that. Speaking of Napoli,
Oh my
that is where we're
God,
gonna go next. Napoli.
man, man, were they nervous, dude? They were shit. Man, every touch was a nervous touch. They just couldn't link up. They couldn't. Nothing was connecting. Everything was. They were fumbling everything. A totally nervous team.
They didn't know what to
And
do. Like they did not
oh
know what.
my
They looked
God,
awful. Like they look at the stats,
yeah,
man. They had 2 shots on target.
dude, they were nervous, man. They were fucking nervous, dude. Super nervous. It was bad. I saw little poops coming out of their shorts. That's how nervous they were.
Really, they cannot, like, they don't have that kind of class yet to, like, been there, done that. I mean, and they
Right.
recently won the Scudetto, but still, half of these guys
Yeah,
haven't.
I mean,
Or actually, I
yeah, no,
guess most of them haven't. Still,
most of them haven't. Yeah, it's
I don't know, man.
I
Like,
don't know.
I expected this game to be tough because Parma is still, battling. Like, they're technically not fully safe from the drop zone.
Oh,
It's
Parma
at
played their
Parma,
asses off, dude.
and they're a feisty team. So I expect this one to be hard. But I just thought Napoli would pull it off at 1-0. I thought something would happen, either like a McTominay goal or Lukaku or something would just get in there. But it didn't happen. They looked
Well,
awful, awful this game.
well, something did happen, but this was a classic case of a team with everything to lose playing a team with nothing to lose. No doubt about it. I think that Napoli felt every single bit of the pressure, but I will say that penalty at the end that was awarded and then called back. Did you see the BS they called that back for?
I'm gonna watch it right now. No,
Abs-
I did not see the end.
Absolute bullshit. So I'm not a fan of calling penalties. Okay,
Let me see this here.
they call it back for Simeone kicking someone in the back of the thigh, which he didn't do because the guy stepped in front
All right,
of
so I
him
see
to
Neres
to uh,
making a move.
pretty basic penalty there. I mean, I disagree with that in general, but it gets called 99% of the time. That's what they called that
They called
penalty.
it back for this.
The guy, so it looks like he kicks him in this angle, right? Look, if you actually see the front angle, which they won't show, you have to see a different uh, uh, angle
I
of
don't
that.
think they should call it back for that. I really don't.
No, dude, it's not even a penalty. The guy steps in front of him and wins the ball, and he trips over his leg because he got the guy stepped in front of him. It's not a penalty at all. It's
Wow.
it's it's ridiculous that they called that off. And you could tell, and Conte was right. He got red carded too. He was right to be pissed off. It's total bullshit, dude. This is the this is the Inter influence here. It absolutely is. Look at that. I mean, that's a penalty. You see it
And
happen
honestly,
every day.
that's definitely a penalty too.
Yeah, it's definitely a penalty. This is complete and utter bullshit. And this right here is a
Wow.
Scudetto. That's the Scudetto right there. And I'm surprised that more people aren't talking about this.
I
And
honestly,
yes,
I didn't even see it because I mean I was watching so many freaking other games, but I didn't see
well,
like the
maybe that's
last
why.
minute. Once I saw 0-0 like the 95th minute, I was like, I'm done. Like it honestly kind of pissed me off because I just bummed with their performance. But yeah, I mean that seeing that back and watching it in slow mo right now, that should definitely not have been called back.
Neres made a play that made the difference, and it got overturned from and Simeone, he made a great play too. It got turned over from fucking bullshit, dude.
Yeah, you did.
So yeah, that was a total. They got totally jobbed,
Wow. Yeah,
100% jobbed.
that's
And
that's no
I
good.
doubt the papers will say anything because you know who owns them. It was crazy. So
That's no good.
yeah, should Napoli have beaten Parma? Yes. Is it an excuse? Yeah. Is it valid? Totally. It's totally a valid
Yeah,
excuse.
no, I mean,
That's a
seeing
great
that
job.
back shouldn't have been called off. I will say
Yeah.
this, fortunately, because of what happened in the Inter game, the fate is still in Napoli's control, so they just got to clean up next week. But yeah, that is BS. I don't agree
It's
with that
total
at all.
BS. That was a Scudetto right there. It's over.
I don't agree with it at all. They no game's easy. They have what Cagliari next week. We'll get into it just very
Yeah,
shortly.
that's a must-win game for Chiari.
Before we kind of get into the whole preview, which we'll delve a little bit deeper into Napoli, let's clean up this week. Let's go with Fiorentina and Bologna.
I didn't see it. I figured Bologna was done.
It was a close game. I mean, the whole time was pretty close game. So,
Really?
oh yeah, it was a very close game. Fiorentina pulled it off just kind of at the end with they won 3-2. So this is a very close game.
Okay. I think King got a late goal, right?
Keane he made the difference. So he was one who actually
Nice.
made the difference in the end, which is nice to
Good.
see.
I'm glad. I like him.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, he's been having a great
How's my
season.
boy Mondragora?
Great, Andrago was great.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Kamuto came off. I think he came off injured, unfortunately, when they were up 1-0. That was the thing. So
Probably a bruise.
who knows what happened? But Parisi was like involved with everything, good or bad, basically this time. So like on goal one, he made the nice driving run forward. He had a kind of errant shot, but it had a big deflection went in, so he was responsible for that. Second one, he got smoked. On Orsolini made a nice like little. He basically faked me to go right and then go left, which Orsolini is not really going to go right. He's a very left-footed player, so and he got faked out of his pants. Orsolini got the cross in. Still, it's not just on him, but nice tap from Dalinga. Richardson gets a goal from just being right place, right time. and I think it was initially started by a run from Parisi. And then Orsolini gets the goal to tie this game up, which Parisi was marking Orsolini and just got smoked. Like he was just not paying attention. Orsolini ran right by him after a good cross from, I believe, Dan and Doy. Those two were great this game. So Ndoye and Orsolini were excellent. But Parisi was like involved in 4 of these 5 goals. The
Yeah,
last
I
goal
you know
was just a nice goal from Keane, though.
I've seen Parisi play well defensively, and I've seen him play horribly defensively. This is part of the growth process of a young player. And I know people are like think every player should be at their peak when they're 19 now because this is the new standard, which is not the case, especially in Italy. It's a very tactical game. It's different, and we've always we've always been the late bloomers in terms of talent. If you look at our national teams, we're always one of the older teams, especially when we're good. So he just needs more time, and
Yeah.
I think he's got some talent. I like him.
I think
Yeah,
Parisi's
he's
good.
done.
I just think Parisi
Yeah,
needs to not be a side back. I think he's done okay if you just give him the responsibility to stay back and mark because he's pretty quick. Like he did very well marking Conceição. They're like similar size, similar speed. That's okay.
yeah.
If he goes up against somebody more physical, he doesn't do very well. But so I just think he needs to be a wing back. I think
Okay.
he's great going forward. He's okay when you want to mark somebody. He's not the best in defensive awareness. I think just put him as wing back, he'd be great. For me, I
No,
wanted him as Hernandez's backup on Milan because I have a great wing back and now great backups. That's what I would have done.
yep. He's talented. Just got to play more, and I think playing around better players also helps you develop as well. So
Yeah. One thing I'll say about Fiorentina that I did not like is they ran Richardson, and I think he's the weakest of their midfielders. I think of course, we know that Cataldi's out, but I think Audley's better than him, and I would have given Endure more minutes than Richardson. I think Richardson is the worst of their midfielders that they have. So I don't like seeing him in there. I think the team is always weaker when they have him playing.
I'm just glad Mandragora played well. I like him, man.
He's been
He's
playing
been
great for about the
real solid.
second half of the
Yeah,
season, the whole second half of
yeah,
the season. So
yep. He's been excellent.
yep. But yeah, Fiorentina pulled it off. It does put them in the hunt. I mean, they did blow it the past few games, and that drastically changed their possible success rate for what they could do. Now all they can do is possibly qualify for Conference League if they win and Lazio. So
Yeah, it's been a tough season for them with a lot of rebuilds. Um, I think they rebuilt twice this season. I know we say it every week, but and with the young coach making some mistakes for sure. So, but I like everything they're doing there. I hope they stick with the plan and keep building with Palladino's vision, uh, in mind.
yeah. Let's move on to the preview. So let's see.
Okay.
This is the last week here. It's gonna be the preview of
Yeah.
week 38. So, all right, let me pull up the list here. We'll kind of go in order. Start there. Okay, first game on the docket is going to be wow. Napoli starts that early, huh? I think that's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I think they should be a Sunday game.
Napoli plays on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, they play Friday at the same time as Inter. I think that should be
Ah,
the
jeez.
last 2
That's
games of
so
the weekend.
corny, dude. It's so corny.
Why wouldn't that be the Sunday premiere game?
Right.
Why would you do the Scudetto? Because I mean, the second that happens, the Scudetto celebration is going to go wild.
I want
And
to watch the matches.
yeah, I mean, at least they're letting like the other teams. I think what they should have done is Inter plays first, right?
Yes.
Because they have to clean it up, and then Napoli plays second. Now you got 2 intense games you can watch. Put Inter on Saturday, Napoli on Sunday. Fine, I don't care, but just do that. The fact they're on the same time is not intense. Just put Inter before Napoli. That's a bad choice.
Why are these games getting scheduled like this, anyways? Like
I don't know.
isn't the schedule set at the beginning of the season? Just keep the schedule.
I know they can flex it, but I mean, from what I see, there's 2 mistakes. One, they're on Friday. This is the premier game of the season games rather. Put it on Sunday. Put it at the marquee time. That is the biggest time slot, and put Inter before Napoli. So it's two bad mistakes.
It's just cheesy, dude. I mean, with the BS call, like the rig job, last week and then this week coming up with this, it just seems cheesy.
I just want to watch the games like in full. I want
It's
to
too
watch the
easy.
games. I want to see the nuances. I want to actually watch them. Like this is one hell of an intense week. There's a lot at play both on the relegation side and the top 4 and Scudetto. I want to watch these games.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a team that has players who want to win. And I'm not talking about a lower table team that has nothing to lose, that have players that, are worth like 3 of the players on one of these big teams. I want to see these big multimillionaire players that play for these supposedly important clubs. I
Actually
want to
want
see
it.
them
Yeah.
actually want it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason Napoli should have taken down Parma. And Parma, it's a tough game, yes. Inter should have taken on Lazio. That's a tough game, yes, absolutely. But they're better all
Yeah.
season. I mean, we were talking about. Yeah, I think I was talking with Shan on the phone about all these good old players we had. You know, watch an old Milan game. You know, Maldini, you got Gattuso. Every single player on the field is a legend.
But these guys take like pay cuts to
There's
stay
not a
with,
single
with
one
their
of these guys.
teams.
Yeah,
Now it's just about getting that bag. Like Buffon stays with his team through Serie B. Like these guys did that type of stuff back in the day. Like
indeed.
because they loved the club, there was true passion for the club. Maldini takes a pay cut just his past few seasons. When he's the club legend, you won't find a bigger one there because he loves the club. I mean, it's a different breed. It's a
Dude,
social media Instagram modern male breed.
it absolutely is, and it's so frustrating to watch because these are massive games, and you just see it. This is when that lack of character and this robot player comes out tenfold. Is in these moments
Yeah, I
when you
want to
just
see some
don't
some real
have
desire here.
any guts, man. And it's been this like this way all season. That's why I did all the bums for the thumbnails. Like, it's a bunch of bums trying to win something important, trying to win something that means something to fans. When really it's just like probably some big nuisance for them. Like, oh god, it's pressure. I just can't deal with it.
I want to
Frustrating.
see. I
Come
do.
on,
I want to see some actual heart, some grit here. I think Napoli is gonna give it to us, but I
come
could
on,
be wrong.
baby,
Um.
come on.
So
Well,
both.
Conti and Inzaghi are on the bench,
That's
or
true.
are banned from the bench. They're both in
Wait,
the
Inzaghi is.
yeah. Inzaghi is too. He got red carded too.
Hey, I mean, I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference, but they both play teams technically with nothing to play for. Almost safe. Cagliari safe.
Are
Napoli
they?
is at home. Yeah, they're both. Cagliari won this past week, so they're safe now. If they didn't win, they wouldn't be safe. Um, Napoli's at home. I think that's actually a massive advantage. Inter's away, and Como's a very hard place to play, and Napoli is a very, very hard place to play at for Cagliari. So I think that this does make a difference. I think that this is going to be the difference, and I actually think Napoli will win. Inter may win, but I have a feeling that Como might sneak a strange tie here, and Napoli's going to win very close one.
Well, in very few cases do I ever say this or believe this, but I truly believe the Napoli fans make a big difference. I think they have some of the best fans in Serie A, and
Yeah,
this is the time. This is the because you know goddamn well this team is a bunch of cowards. They need your fucking backing like no other right now because they really suffered
that
in
last
Parma,
game was
dude. That was such a lack of confidence
yes, that
and
penalty should happen, but
terrified. Yeah,
it was
they got
bad though.
screwed for sure. But yeah, they shouldn't even have been in that spot. These are grown men that are absolutely terrified to go win a game, go win a championship. What an amazing opportunity. Like,
I mean,
go
if
fucking
they
take it.
won that game,
It's
it's
over.
done.
Over, man. They keep dragging this shit on.
Yeah.
You know, and Conti's just like fucking going blue in the face. I mean, he's definitely not staying next year. I mean, holy shit, he's going nuts.
Yeah, honestly, it's
I'm
pretty
going
wild.
nuts.
I didn't expect them to drop points that game. I thought it would be close, feisty, but I just had faith in them to pull it off. But I mean,
I do too.
Napoli's been that kind of team. Like usually, like we were always saying, hey, Conte teams come February, they're killing it. Come February,
Yeah,
they had a massive meltdown for a month and a half. I mean, it's
yeah.
like they were just
They did.
tying games in the last minute of the games. They were up 1-0, something that would just get tied, and this is not something I've seen from Conte teams. So Napoli, they don't have it yet. But they're
It's very
it's a
scary.
miracle job they're where they are. I think they're going to complete.
They need to complete the job. It's definitely very terrifying having Oliver at center back. He is a scary center back. I don't mean scary in a good way. I mean, oof, man, is he sloppy? I think I like him as a player. I don't think that's the spot for him by any means. And I think last week I said this. I mean, dude, we looked it up. Buongiorno has a muscle strain. Get your ass on the field and go play, dude.
No, he's not playing. He's out for the season.
Ridiculous.
He's gonna stay out. But I think even with that, Napoli's gonna win this one. I think it's a 1 goal margin, 1-0, 2-1. Who knows? They could surprise me and blow them out, but I doubt it. And I think that Inter Como, my gut tells me Inter might pull this one off similar like 2-1, but I have a sneaking suspicion Como at home. They have no pressure. There's nothing to play for. I think that's actually going to free up, especially these kids who they have on their team with very, very talented kids. So Como might actually surprise people, buy it out, and that would
God, I hope
shots
so.
in general. That's my prediction here. Where are you going with the game? What do you think? Not
Oh
what's
man,
happening in
I'm
Napoli?
going 1-0. I'm going 1-0 Napoli.
All right, so same, and I'll go
I'm
1-0,
going
2-1. What
two
about Como
nothing.
Inter?
I'm going 2-0 Inter.
Ooh, all right. So no goal for Como.
No,
Are you sure?
no, they're not going to botch 2 weekends in a row.
Como not
No,
scoring. When's the last time they haven't scored?
I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know.
All right, Bologna Genoa.
I think Genoa gets this one 1-0. I think Bologna's done for the season.
Really?
Yeah, I think they checked the box. That's all they care about.
I think Bologna wins it.
Really?
I think they win it. Yeah, I mean,
I think
is
Genoa's been playing really well, but they've gone up against good opponents and been in the short end of the stick. So I think this is a winnable game for them, and I think they will.
they
I think
might.
Monty's been looking really good lately. Not just last game, but even
Yeah,
a couple games before. He's been getting
I
better and
could
better.
see Genoa winning, but maybe the right call to say tie. But
It's probably will be probably 1-1. There you
okay, I'll do that. I'll go 1-1. Milan Monza. I think Milan.
go. Oh,
Oh my god. I think because it's all over and there's nothing to play for, I think Milan's actually to win now.
I think went like 5-0. Be like, yeah, see.
Yeah, once like what's happened to them all season is they'll have a streak where everybody gets hopeful, things look good, and then they just fail every time. Every time something good could happen, they fail. Now nothing matters, pressure's off. They're gonna play fine.
Yeah,
I think they get like a 3-1 win.
I think it's gonna be 1-1.
I like that a lot.
I
It's
think they're
great.
gonna stink it up.
I would
I
love it.
I,
Yeah.
I think they're just done, and they're annoyed that they even gotta go back and play one more game. They have more work, They want to go back to work. It's frustrating. They got albums to cut and
Yeah.
outfits to
He
wear.
got albums to make. Teo's got some fashionista stuff. Reinders has
Yeah,
to go sign with Man City. Cardinali's got to go release more awful jerseys. Fine.
yep. It's all about the haircuts and the fashions, dude.
Yep. All right. Juve Venezia. Kind of an important game here for a couple of reasons.
Yeah,
So
massive
Juve in
game.
the standings is at 67 points. Technically, they can be caught by both Lazio and Roma if things go their way. Venezia has 29 points. Venezia, their fate is not in their hands. They're 19th. If they win, they move out of the drop zone. Of course, Empoli has to fail, and Lecce, so two teams have to fail. But if they pull it off, it puts them in the running for escaping relegation. So this is not going to be some easy
Oh,
task. And they're at Venezia.
Who was it? Lecce and Empoli play each other. Who plays each other? There's a big game in there.
Lecce plays Lazio, which is absolutely massive, right? Because Lazio may
Yeah,
not surpass that. Lecce it needs to at least
I
tie
think
here, if not win.
I think Venezia, if they win, they stay because I think Lecce is going to lose to Lazio.
I think so
Lazio is
too.
not gonna fucking lose. Come on, don't lose.
No,
And I
I
think
agree.
Venezia is gonna play their asses off.
I agree. I
Now
think
I think Juventus struggles when teams play them hard. Juventus
yeah,
is able to beat teams that aren't motivated because they're a very weak-minded team. When you have a team, and this would happen last time, Venezia started to get stronger as the game went on, and they started to play harder and harder, and Juventus just crumbled. So this has been the character for Juventus all season. And if Venezia come out there and here's another thing that can happen too, though. If Venezia come out there and actually go for it and try to play an attack, they're going to leave their back wide open, and I
yeah,
think Juventus can score there. If Venezia just plays this cool, sits back, tries to hit him
I
with a
agree. They
counter,
could frustrate him. Yeah.
they will absolutely have
Yep.
success.
Juve is going to struggle with that. And now it's
Yeah.
2-2, the first time these two met, Venezia, Juve. This would be at Venezia, Venezia with a must-win game. Juve kind of with a must-win game. If a tie happens, which was the result last time, that means that I don't think, can be caught by Lazio, but Roma could surpass them in the end here and take top four, and Juve moves down to Europa League.
Well, I think it is a must-win game because, yeah, a draw isn't a guarantee, right? But
A draw
uh, you know,
a draw means Roma can attack them. A
will
loss means
Lazio have a
Lazio and
winning
Roma
game?
can attack them.
Will Lazio have a winnable game? Who does Roma play?
I don't think Lazio can pass them though, because let me look up Lazio versus Juve. Like, it depends on their head to head.
No, Lazio's
So
only 2 points behind.
it doesn't matter though. If Juve ties, Lazio wins.
Oh, if Juve
They're
ties, yeah,
yes,
yeah,
they're even, and Juve wins the head to head because Juve tied and then they beat Lazio. So that means that Juve would take the head to head. So Lazio cannot attack them if Juve gets a point. Lazio
right.
must. Juve has to lose for
Well,
them to have a
Venezia
shot.
needs to win anyways. Yeah, Venezia needs to win to stay in, and
Yeah.
Juventus needs to draw or
They need to win to guarantee themselves because Roma can win, and if Roma
Who's
wins,
Roma play?
they play Torino, and that's a very
Oh yeah,
winnable
Torino's
game.
been
I
checked
think
out.
Roma's winning
Yeah,
it. Torino's like Udinese; they're done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Roma's definitely winning that. So yeah, Juventus needs to win. They're in a must-win situation.
Yep. Yeah, I think just because of
So is
Roma's
Venezia.
position, it's a must win. Now, some really interesting we should talk about is the relegation where we're talking about Venezia, talking about Lecce, who Lecce has 31 points. We also got to talk about Empoli. So let me give the watchers a little rundown. Parma 33 points. Lecce 31, Empoli 31, Venezia 29. Those are the four teams that matter. Parma with a draw, I believe Muscolo is clear. Lecce, Empoli, and Venezia are deep in it. Now, Empoli, talk about this right before the cast, plays Verona. I think that's a very winnable game. And they actually, let's see, Empoli would move to 34 points, which I think would pull them safe. I don't think any team is going to catch them unless Lecce wins. Now, Lecce, as we were just talking about, plays Lazio. I think Lazio is going to beat Lecce. So Empoli
Yeah,
could secure their own fate here if they win this game, which
yeah.
is very unique. So
Empoli and Empoli's been playing well.
Empoli's been playing well, and Verona is not a great team. They have 3 losses and 2 draws on their last 5 games. Empoli has 2 wins last, but I think Empoli wins this game. They move to 34. I think Empoli stays in Serie A,
I think they are going to stay in Serie A.
which is very, very interesting. We could have a massive shakeup because Lecce, I think they're going to lose. So I think they're going to kind of sit and take that new spot. Venezia could be the surprise team if they can do a number on Juve, because then that would actually drop down. Let's see, it would drop down Lecce.
I think Parma loses too, by the way. So I think they're losing Atalanta.
I think Parma will lose too.
Yeah, I think they play Atalanta. I think Atalanta's going to do one of those, their Atalanta circus shows. Yeah.
If Parma, Lecce lose, what happens? No, Venezia will still drop down because Parma is not close enough to Venezia, so Venezia will still get relegated. So it's really,
Venezia just needs to win. Yeah.
yeah, even if they
Oh,
win, I
Lecce.
think it's all about Empoli, right? Because if Empoli wins, Venezia has no chance.
Oh yeah, you're right.
If Empoli wins, Venezia has no chance. It's gonna be a very interesting shakeup, which is another reason why I hate these matches because I want to watch them.
Yeah, it's close. I want to watch this shit, man. I like.
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually like watching these games. I don't just watch one team. I like watching all the teams, especially when there's this important games on the line.
yeah, they're all gonna be
So
multicasted Sunday afternoon.
it's
Venezia,
all BS.
Lecce,
Multi-ass.
Empoli, and Parma. That's kind of annoying. So that's the kind of Sunday fixture. The nothing fixtures are Milan and Bologna on Saturday, so they're getting those out of the way. Bummer is the Napoli
Yeah,
Inter.
it's a bummer. It's a bummer, dude.
So we'll go with predictions. Venezia Juve. What's your prediction?
Juventus are gonna win 2-1.
I kind of agree. I don't want it to happen, but I think it's going to happen. A 2-1 Juve.
Yeah, I don't want. I mean, I don't want Juventus to finish in fourth. I
No,
don't.
you're in a similar position as Milan. You kind of need it to crumble so they can fix.
Yeah, yeah, they're not gonna rebuild
Lazio.
the team correct.
No, they won't. They won't. If they win, that's my whole argument with Milan. If they do well enough, they will not rebuild the way they should.
Well, that's how Milan got where they were. Is they weren't bad enough to to convince themselves they weren't doing the right thing until they were.
Yep. They were just getting top four in Champions League, and now all of
That's
a
all that
sudden
matters. Top
it
four
just
guys.
broke or flopped from
That's
underneath them.
all. Yeah, because that's all that anyone cares about is getting a top
Top
four.
four. What a joke. This is not what
So you
these
can be in
teams should be
Champions League
fighting
because
for.
that's important. Because Champions League's important because the media told me so.
So embarrassing. This is what the clubs are relegated to. People actually
Yep.
care about top four for Milan and Juve. It's a joke.
I mean, this is the new fan.
What a
This is the new
standard
fan base.
reduction.
That's what people don't care.
Ugh. Yeah, so we both agree on
I
that
mean,
one. Lazio Lecce.
Lazio Lecce. Lazio is definitely winning this game. They're going to win 2-0.
I mean, I want to
They're
say
going to play
that,
and
but
they're going to play an
man, dude,
excellent game. No,
I
they're
want
going
to
to play an
say that,
excellent game.
but Lazio has been failing every time they shouldn't be.
They're going to play an excellent game.
All right, Lazio's gonna tie Lecce 1-1. They are
Oh
gonna
God.
stink it up,
Oh
and
God.
Fiorentina's gonna
Oh.
sneak into the Conference League. Boom.
Ooh, I like it though. I
That's
do
that's
like
my
it. Yeah.
prediction. Lazio's gonna shit the bed one last time as they've been doing all season when it matters. Lecce's gonna fight hard, and Lecce's gonna secure. No, they're not gonna secure their spot because they would go down. Lecce's gonna fight hard, but they're still gonna go down. But they will fight for that because they have to. And then
So
Fiorentina,
we're
as they
not
play
going to be.
Udinese, is gonna win. So Fiorentina's gonna beat Udinese 2-1.
So Basque Rota Muscle Man's going to be dropping down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. I think Fiorentina, my heart wants them to pull it off. I think they can actually pull it off because of these games. I think Lazio can tie and Fiorentina can win. And that would turn over everything because it wouldn't be enough. Lecce has to win
They do.
to win. I don't see it happening. I think Lazio pulls it off with a tie then. Dang it. I
Yeah.
wanted Fiorentina to snag that spot because Fiorentina beat Lazio both times. They've got the head to head. So if they tie, Fiorentina wins.
Yeah. Well, no, because Lazio's got to lose though.
Yeah, Lazio has to
For
lose.
for
So they would have to
yeah.
lose for Fiorentina to even tie them. And if they do, though, Fiore takes the spot because they won both games against Lazio.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It's not.
Oh, all right. That
All
means
right.
that the dream will not happen. I'll keep it alive in my head, but I don't think
Well,
it's going to
they're on
happen.
the right track. They're on the right track.
I know. I'll go Fiorentina win. I'll go Lazio tie. Roma Torino. I think Roma wins this one about 3
Yeah.
1, 2
2
0.
nothing. Yeah, I like it. Sure.
Atalanta Parma.
Atalanta's going to do a sex show. It's going to be Atalanta 3-0.
Yeah, Parma's not exactly
Maybe
safe.
3-1.
If Empoli and Lecce win, possible, Parma's out. So they're not
And
exactly
Parma's not
safe
a
yet.
bad squad. Parma's got some good players on the team. They
They
play
do.
their asses off. I mean, they really do play their asses off. So I mean, all things considered, Napoli not being able to win. I mean, the Parma team is not a fucking pushover team. So and Kiva's got him playing well. I hate his face, but he's doing a good job as a
I
coach.
think I'm going to change it. I'm going to say Parma's going to tie this game. I think Atalanta doesn't need to do anything else. They're going to tie it 2-2.
Okay. Yeah.
Empoli, Verona. I think Empoli wins this one 2-1.
Yeah, I would say the exact same thing. 2-1 Empoli.
Man. So, with that being said, table shakeout. Final thoughts and then table shakeout. What do you think's going to happen? Scudetto, top four, Europa League, and relegation.
What do I think is going to happen? That's a question that I don't even know if I can answer anymore.
What do you want to happen?
What do I want? What I want to happen is I obviously want Napoli to win. I'm pretty sure I want them to win, no matter what. I like them. They're I love them that they have Conte, especially. I've been rooting for them all season. This is my prediction for the Scudetto. This is what I want, baby. And it's
All
not
right.
just because I hate Inter. It's because I want actually. I do just like them very much, but I'd rather have Napoli. Yeah, just win because I like Napoli and I like Conte.
Yep. What about top four? Who's going to get it? Who's going to? Will it be Juve?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's going to be Juventus, and then we're going to
I agree.
gush money out and bring in a bunch more foreign mercenaries into the team, and it'd become even more unrecognizable.
The
And
Roma dream is going to stop short. I think it was all down to
yeah,
last week.
yep. That Atalanta game was that's what did it. Yep.
Yep. That was everything. We kind of called that one, and that was where the Ranieri swan song kind of ended for me. I think Juve just pulls it off in a very just kind of random
Grotesque
two
way.
one. Yeah, gross. It's gonna be a weird win.
Yeah.
They're gonna get two
Well,
one win. So
if they draw, if Venezia fight for a draw, Roma's in. So
yeah, that'd be beautiful. I mean,
it's a
it's
must-win game.
totally possible. I just think Juve's gonna pull it off. I don't want them to, but I
I
think
do
they
too.
will.
I do too.
Who's gonna get Europa? Who's gonna get conference?
I don't think anything's changing. I think it's staying just like this. I think Roman teams are going to be in.
Gotcha. So Roma, Lazio, Roma
Yeah.
gets Europa, Lazio
Yeah.
gets Conference League, and then Bologna obviously is qualified for Europa. So those would be the
Yep.
two representatives. That's not bad. Good
No, I like it.
representatives.
I mean,
But
these are the teams that earned it.
yeah, yeah. Fiore
They
was
really
close,
did.
but they didn't do enough.
The beginning of the season really. I mean, the beginning of the season had a massive impact, more so than I remember even in years past. I think in years past, teams could overcome stuff. Like nobody could win. No one could string together the results, especially when they needed them the most. This whole season, every single team suffered the same tragic fate of just being incapable. So, the beginning of the season, when it seemed like some teams were, just waking up and the other teams were on it, it pretty much set the stage for where we're at now.
Let's
Some teams are maybe
see.
desperately holding on.
You could see 82 points as the max points for Napoli. I mean, or if they both
That's
draw at
bad.
80 points. I mean,
It's
if you look at
terrible.
seasons past, 94 for Inter, 90 for Napoli,
Mhm.
86 for Milan, 91 for
84 for Inter.
Inter,
Yeah. Big.
83. Another low year was 2019 2020. You Inter 83 82. But besides that, it's generally around 90 points or high 80s.
Yeah,
It's another very, very low season here. So there's just not a lot of
it
teams
is.
who really wanted to win or run away with it. There's plenty of opportunity. Um, I kind of agree with you. I think it's going to stay as is. I don't want to. I want Roma to make Champions League, and I want Fiorentina to squeak
Yeah,
into Conference League. I don't think either will
I would
happen,
love
but I want that.
I would love Dybala in the Champions League.
I would
That's
love to see those two
sounds
things happen.
awesome.
Yep.
That would sound awesome to me. Yeah,
Relegation. I think that Empoli's going to get out of it. I think Venezia is going to come close, but won't pull it off. I think that Lecce, Venezia, and Monza.
totally agree. Yep.
Um, That's it. I don't have any other remarks. We will be back after with our last review next week, and then after that, we're gonna start doing some team breakdowns, some
Oh yeah.
transfer, some Mercato news, which is gonna be a lot more quick. Try to add some shorts in there too. So a lot of plans for our summer casting. Any other final thoughts?
No, I don't know. I'm looking forward to this week to getting this wrapped up, and I love doing the Mercato stuff.
Yeah.
So
Rebuilds, transfer links. That's awesome stuff. It's
yeah,
some of my favorite stuff too. Um,
yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us. It's been another episode here. Remember to like and subscribe. We're excited to come back with more stuff. Take care, and as always, what's a calcio?